Hi guys. Since we're in back to school season, back to school season has kind of already passed, but autumn is still back to school season because it's like, go my girls, and just everything, okay? So today is how I romanticize school for autumn specifically, because you can do these things any time of the year, but this is mostly for autumn. One thing I like to do is bring coffee in a flask to school, because first of all, it warms you up, because honestly, our school does not, I don't even know if it has heating. Well, if it does, then never turn it on, so it's absolutely freezing. Coffee in the morning at school, it proper wakes me up. Obviously it's caffeine, of course it's gonna wake me up, but it's just so like refreshing, I don't know why, to have coffee in school. But also you get coffee breath, so bring gum. Even if you're not allowed to have gum in school, bring gum to get rid of the coffee breath and then throw it away. Get a cute little flask, buy a nice flask, don't use like a manky old one. It's up to you, but I would buy a nice little flask. I've got a nice little flask, and it's quite big, so it holds a lot of coffee, which is good. I love my coffee. You guys probably already know because I have a coffee in every single flipping video. The next two are kind of linked together, so like manifesting with photos. So like if you have a Pinterest board of photos, like what you want to achieve this year, so like high grades, studying in cafes, stuff like that. And then the next one is create a mood board. So you can have it as like your phone background, you can print it out, even stick photos on your walls of like stuff that you want to achieve this year. So mine is like Gilmore Girls, photos of studying in cafes, nice desk, just like good grades, stuff like that. And I've got a mood board on my computer screen. It's mostly like autumn stuff, like leaves, pumpkins, stuff like that, because it's autumn. But also I've got like studying stuff on there to help me like be motivated to actually do stuff. The next thing is obviously watching Gilmore Girls. It really sets you up for like being motivated and everything, for like to revise and study for anything. And obviously since I'm in year 11, like I'm gonna be revising a lot, so watching Gilmore Girls is a good thing. But I don't recommend to watch it while you're studying, because then you won't actually retain the information. But the vibes of Gilmore Girls is just awesome, because obviously she's very like motivated to study and like very academically driven, so it just makes me want to be like her. It's also just a cozy watch for autumn anyway, so even if you're not trying to be like an academic weapon this year, I still recommend watching it for autumn. The next thing, if you're a reader, is read dark academia books and fantasy books, because dark academia, since it's like about school but it's also got a fun little mystery, I feel like it's just the perfect match. And also like the Harry Potter series, read that this autumn, because that's about school but it's also got a good plot, which is why I love dark academia books, or just like books about school in general. They're just so fun because it just sets you up like to be in the right mindset, I feel like. Not like the killing and mystery stuff about it, but just the academic part of it. The next thing is have a nice desk area. Well, mine isn't really that nice right now. I probably should clean it and put some nice autumn decorations on it. But having a nice desk area really helps, because if everything's clean and it's not cluttered, you'll want to do stuff, because it's like if you've got a clean desk, clean mindset. You know what I mean? So I just feel like having a nice desk and like places to put all your revision guides and all your study and stuff is just amazing. Also, I recommend buying revision guides and study guides if you're in year 11. The next thing is studying at coffee shops. Now this could be like cute little independent coffee shops, like doing their own thing, you know, but also it could just be like Starbucks. However, Starbucks is very expensive, so I prefer going to like independent coffee shops, because first of all, they're normally cheaper, and second of all, the drinks are really nice. So find one that you really like and like just set up there. You can do it with friends, but personally I can only study with one person. My other friends I cannot, because we just don't do any work. But find a friend that you can study with and you will absolutely eat this. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, it's just I just love studying in coffee shops. I've only done it a few times, but it's just amazing. The vibes of coffee shops. You can have your little headphones in and like, it's just amazing. The next thing is cute accessories. And by that, I don't mean like jewelry, stuff like that. I mean like pencil cases, school bags, stationery and stuff. Now, if you are stationary girly, this is your time to shine, okay? You don't want to be making your work impractical because you're just highlighting everything, but you still want like the key words and key information to stick out, so getting nice highlighters is a must. And I'll link down below some of the stuff that I use, because the highlighters I have are actually my favourite. I have a colour for every subject. It's just everything looks really neat and nice, but not too like overcrowded with like highlighters and doodles. Next is making a study playlist. Now, if you can study with words and like songs that you normally listen to, that is great, but I cannot do that because I will just start singing and dancing, and that is not the objective. I'm trying to study, and if I'm singing and dancing, I'm not really doing anything. So I say find a study playlist with like relaxing music. You could do like lo-fi or like just whatever you want really. I just prefer songs without words when I'm studying because I'm still blocking out like the background noise, especially if I'm in a cafe, but it's still music that I can actually concentrate to and I'm not like being distracted by it. I'll also link the studying playlist I use down below. The next thing, now if you have a locker, this is really good because then you can put it somewhere, but is wearing cute jackets and coats. I've just bought a new coat actually. It's so cute. It's just behind me. I'll get it in a second. But it's a white coat with a hood, so especially if it's raining, and obviously it's cold for like autumn and winter, having a cute coat is a must because it's freezing, especially if you have to walk to school or walk back from school. It's just good to have a coat in general. And the last thing on the list is, if you're a reader, always bring a book to school. Even if you don't think you're gonna have time to read it in the day, still always bring one. Like I bring a book everywhere I go, even if I know I'm not gonna get a chance to read it. There could be a chance to read it, but sometimes after school I just like to go for a little walk around the fields and just sit down and read a few chapters because it's just so fun. I mean, maybe not when it's cold, but you can always walk to a cafe and read and study. But I always love to read in like fields or just like on a bench somewhere. But obviously if it's cold, that's not very fun because then my hands will just fall off. Also, another thing to tie with the coats is gloves, cute gloves that match the coat. So I've bought some white gloves to match my white coat. Well, it's not really white, it's like cream off-white. I feel like they're just gonna make my hands like toasty and warm, especially if I wanna read outside. This is the coat I bought. It's literally just from Primark. I bought it yesterday, but it's got a hood and it's dead like warm. It's so big and dead warm and I just love it so much. And I just bought some like simple gloves to go with it. Another one that is really important that I actually forgot, making a revision timetable is really important because you can just see like what time you actually have in the week to do some revision, and you need to make sure you have at least some time for each subject. So like even if it's just like an hour or like 30 minutes for each subject, it's really good because you don't want to be doing loads of one subject just because you like it. You want to work on the things that you're not very good at. For mine, I've done like an hour and a half of all sciences because they're probably my weakest subjects. But then for like English, which I really enjoy, I only have like an hour, but for everything I have at least an hour. But revision timetables are really good to keep you organised. But anyway, that's the end of today's video. I hope everyone has a nice rest of the school year and will use my tips to make sure that you are enjoying the little things about school, even though it's overall a miserable experience for most people, me included. These things just help me to enjoy it a bit more and like not dread going to school every single day. Have a lovely rest of your day and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye!